Hello there, I'm Scotty. You're now welcome back to the MCU with ThunderBolts! ThunderBolts! You're gonna say it like Alexi. ThunderBolts. The West, whatever Thunderbolts. Because they can't be modeled after Ross because of reasons. So they modeled it after a soccer team, or I'm sorry, football team. Sorry. So this is, I think, my first video since I rearranged the background a little bit. You could always see a change. I'll point some things out to you. So first of all, we have Art the Clown now, the Terrifier 2 thing here. Right? It's a little bit blurry, but this is Art the Clown. We got the American Psycho cover, Gargoyles, Wayans Brothers, Zeke. I know Goku, but Zeke. Power Rangers over here. Smallville's Arrow. Green Arrow. Scooby-Doo in the Ghoul School. Jeremiah. Alright? Jeremiah. Because everyone's like, oh, Michael Jamal Warner died. He was Theo Huxtable on the Cosby Show. Yeah, I grew up with that. This is what I know him from. Okay, he's Gertie to me. And also Matt Mal and Malcolm and Eddie. That's where I know him from. That's my generation. Yeah. So, yeah. Oh, I also added some stuff over here. I got Dak Prescott, Cowboys right here, the Baba Hate. And Michael Jordan. Right here next to Rock. Here you go. I also added Zeke here too. So. I could have taken the camera and showed it all to you, but I didn't want to pick it up. So let's talk about the Thunderbolts. No, I will not be calling it by the other name because they are not. So, yeah. I went full spoilers at this point. So, this was anticipated for me, but I wasn't big on it like other ones, but this interested me because Bucky was in it. Although when they announced he was going to be in this, I went, no, he should be in the Captain America movie because that's where the story started with Falcon and Winter Soldier. He should be in that. And he was like in less than 5 minutes of that movie. They just established that he was running for congressman. Now he is a congressman. Yeah. They also make references to that movie, so if you haven't seen Captain America, you would know what they're talking about, but, yeah. But, yeah, the trailers came out, and people started having theories to one character's fate. They're like, Taskmaster's not in a lot of the trailer. You know, and then, like, there was one part of the trailer where they show her at what was the Avengers Tower, and then another trailer showed those same scenes but without her in it. What happened there? Yeah, so I have a theory. So, because they were supposedly, it came out, there was supposed to be a running joke where she keeps forgetting, because her memory's all messed up, she keeps forgetting who Walker is. Big Nose Captain America is my U.S. agent, as my son would say, Big Nose Captain America. She keeps forgetting who he is and keeps attacking him. But so apparently she was supposed to be in more of the movie, but here she's barely in it, like at all. She's in all of the promo materials. She's still on the freaking cover of the Blu-ray. Yeah. They also showed these are the new costume designs. Is anyone else just sick of changing the costume in every goddamn movie? Because it's like, because even Bob in this Sentry, he's got a costume, and they're like, he's going to have a new costume for Avengers Doomsday. I'm like, why? You have a comic accurate costume. I know that the correct answer is to sell toys. But seriously, stop it. Because you had a perfect comic accurate costume for Sam Wilson's Captain America and Falcon and Winter Soldier. And then he had that for a small part of the movie and then went to a different one. I'm just sick of them changing costumes for no reason. Spider-Man's costume, they did a reveal for that one. That's a reason. He needed a new costume. It's basically the same one he made at the end of the last one, which is good, because if they change it again, what's the point of showing that one? It's the same suit. I don't think we need to change their suit every time. I know it's to sell toys, but you don't really need to do it. Look at Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. They didn't really change his suit. His suit was pretty much the same in all three movies. I'm just sick of changing things every time. How many different outfits has Bucky had throughout his run? Here he's basically just in a t-shirt. Alexi's looks about the same. Then again, you gotta think he's a guy, he's just a bum, you know. He only has that one suit. But, yeah. Then I guess I'll talk about it when I get to it. But, so, let's talk about the movie now. So we start with Yelena jumping off of a building for her mission. And I was like, oh, we're starting with this. This is how we're going to start. We're not going to have any other explanation stuff. We're just going to start with the mission. No, this is a different mission. But also, this jump they made a big deal about. She did it herself practically. Watch out, Tom Cruise. So what? It's a stunt. People do them. She did it herself. Oh, good for her. That's great. Doing stunts. That's great, but I don't think they need to make that big of a deal of it. You know why to make a big deal of it? Because Tom Cruise's own stunt. It's a woman doing her own stunt. That's why we should be happy. Yay! No, equality. If we are no longer starting to care about Tom Cruise's stunts, and he's got to keep going bigger and better each time, then we could also put as much effort into not caring about this one. Okay, I'm just saying equality to everyone, or we could both be excited for both. Or we could be excited for both. I can speak English. I'm just saying. We don't need to go, woo, because a woman did a stunt. No, it's the same like, hey, yeah, good for them. They did their own stunts. Cookies for everyone, right? I'm just saying. So she jumps off a building, and again, so like they said, this, okay, so what's the need for her to do this? There really isn't one. And that's really why I sort of down on this. It's because she jumps off a building because they wanted her to do it. That's all it was, or she wanted to do it, or something. It's not needed. They could have just started with her falling into the building. We don't need to see this. I don't understand why this is here. It's here because she's working for Allegra de Fontaine. Contessa Allegra de Fontaine, something like that. I don't know. Julia Louis-Dreyfus, basically working for her, and she's destroying assets. She doesn't want to destroy the scientist guy, but the scientist guy shoots at her, and she has to kill him. She's kind of forced to do it, and job done. And she goes to talk to Alexi, who is living good life in shithole apartment. Apparently, he ordered DoorDash. And, yeah. No surprise here, I love David David Harbour, Stranger Things, all that. He's good here. He's really good. He's still got it, of course. They have a little conversation, and then, so you have Julia Louis-Dreyfus. I can't call it De Fontaine. She's talking to her security officer, Mel. I recognize her. I think she was in Blockers, right? She was like John Cena's daughter in Blockers or something. She was, I think she was. Apparently she was a teenager when she was in high school when the Avengers fought in 2012. In the Avengers movie, so. Yeah. But they're setting up operatives for a mission. And only one hasn't responded, of course, is Yelena. And that's when she talks to Alexi. She decides she's gonna do it. Uh-oh. Probably shouldn't have. Because we all know what that's supposed to be. So. She breaks in, and immediately she gets into this room. She finds her stuff. She's immediately attacked by Walker. She's not there to go after Walker. She's there to go after Ghost, I think. And Ghost shows up, and she's there to go after Taskmaster. Or he's after Taskmaster. Whatever. Now she's after Ghost is after Taskmaster, and he's after Ghost. It's very confusing. And then Taskmaster shows up, and she's killed pretty much right away. And I went, really? Already? Seriously? Then we meet Bob. I did think it was kind of funny because it came out that Louis Pullman wanted to change the character's name because he just played a character named Bob, and they had to tell him, no, it's a comic book thing. You can't change it. They've changed other things, but yeah, and he doesn't know why he's there. Nobody knows where he came from, and they don't really explain why he's there. You can kind of put it together, but they don't say, like, it's part of trying to cover it up, or maybe they were just hiding him there because they said all the other members of the Sentry Project died, so they had one survivor. They were keeping him there secretly or something. I don't know. But it turns out this is to dispose. And then when it comes out, when Dave Fontaine realizes, oh, it didn't work, let's just turn on the furnace and burn these guys. I don't like how it takes a little while for Walker to realize what's going on. He's not that stupid. We have a subplot with Bucky where he's kind of hitting on Mel, but he's working for Senator Wendell. His name is Gary, but it's Wendell. You're like, Wendell who? Well, I can't really... Wendell Pierce. The actor Wendell Pierce. He's been in a lot of things. He was the coach in the Grease Alive, which I know he's no Sid Caesar, but I like Wendell. And, yeah. He's working for him because he's a congressman. And he's not a senator, he's a congressman too, isn't he? I guess. Congressman Wendell. Anyway. But he's Perry White in the Superman too, so he's been both Marvel and DC, so I don't know why they can't just cast Perry White as someone who is white, because he's supposed to, but I don't know. I don't know what the obsession is with black Perry Whites. I don't understand it. Larry Fishburne was fine, but Wendell's a good actor too. I'm sure he knocked it out of the park. I haven't seen it yet, but anyway. So they realize that this is not going to work, and there's safeguards to stop them leaving. Like, Ghost can go through the wall, but can't. So Walker, destroys the thing, which... So my issue with this is, why would you put the circuitry that controls the wall that stops the person from going through the wall in the same room with the people you're trying to kill? Why? Why not have it on the other side or something? Why would you put that right there? Why? It makes no sense. They destroy it, and Ghost goes through uh-oh, what happened? There's an explosion, but we get a hint of the Void here, and I didn't know anything about the Sentry character. I only know my son has an action figure he's had for years. That's all I know. So I didn't know what the Void was, but when I saw what they did in the trailer, I'm like, this feels like too much. This feels like too much extra. Like, why are we... Because, we have this guy who's all-powerful. Why do we need a Void type thing? I now understand what they're going for, but it's just like... What? Right? So one question people had is like, how did Bucky get his arm back? If it went, did they retcon it? Because in the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special, Gamora gifted it to Rocket, and so when they saw that Bucky had his arm in this one, they're like, "Oh, they retconned it." Or he got a new arm. He knows Wakandans. They could just make another one for it. Or, hear me out. Maybe he had more than one arm. Or maybe, what's her name? Nebula got a fake one. Or went to Wakanda and they made her one that looks just like it. Who knows? It's Bucky's arm. All we know is that he probably has more than one. You know? I'm just saying. Although now the government is going through, you know, the whole thing on Tiamat Island, I would ask, hey, can I get an adamantium one? That's supposed to be stronger than vibranium. Adamantium one, man. Just saying. I think it's disarm actually, but yeah, saying. So now we got this ragtag with people who's trying to get out of this building, which they do. Excuse me. But Bob like flies into the sky and explodes. Their words, not mine. And he's forced to leave him behind. But Allegra gets a hold of him and is like, hey, we could use this. I'm gonna use this guy as my new hero. Yeah, I hate her as much as I do Amanda Waller, and I was praying for her to die at some point in this, but you know I'm not going to do that. Even though I don't think this character is as necessary as Amanda Waller is to the DC part of stuff, although I wish she would have died there too, but I don't know. I just don't like her. I just don't like her. Yeah, and then from here we get the... So, I have a little issue with this. So, Alexei finds them in the middle of the desert. And because... So, he runs an Uber service on the side. And it just so happened that one of his Ubers, or whatever it is, was Allegra de Fontaine and Mel. However, I find this to be bullshit. There's no way she will be talking about government secrets in something that is equal to an Uber. There is no way. She is divulging government secrets inside what is an Uber. It makes no sense. It's one of those cases where she would do that so she'd get to the place she killed the driver. You know too much now. But no, they just get out and leave. And it makes no fucking sense. It's also Alexei can hear it and then go to save them. That's it. Also, he somehow knows exactly where they are. I don't know. But, sure. We find him when he get there driving in this thing. And then government bad guys show up. Whatever. Bucky takes them out and then takes them out. I do like how they're celebrating and Walker's like, yeah, oh. And it explodes. No one gets hurt. Now, Alexei and Walker, I understand, they took the serum. But Yelena and Ghost have not yet. They're fine. In fact, Yelena does something later too that makes no sense to me. She's going to save Bob later. I don't know. But anyway, So meanwhile, Allegra is talking to Bob and is like, you know, control your power or something. He's like, I can control it. I can do it because she's ready to just throw him away again. I can do it. I can control it. And then, yeah. So I like this. I laughed at this because they had Bucky has him at a abandoned gas station, and they're trying to tell him about Bob, and he's like, Bob. Yeah, he flew in the air and it exploded. It flew Sentry. Project Sentry. Bob. Like, he doesn't believe them. I'm like, really, Buck? After all the shit you've seen since waking up and in Winter Soldier, and you have a hard time believing there's a guy that could fly in the sky and explode and still survive, and secret government projects, you really? I also want to point out we don't get too much explanation into Bob's background. We know he has some trauma or something, but he's got amnesia, and that's a clever way to... Oh, he has amnesia, so we don't need to tell you anything. But it's after Mel contacts Bucky, basically saying what they're saying. He's like, okay, we're going to have to work together, and we're going to call ourselves the ThunderBolts. It's after the football team, the soccer team. And then, okay. I don't like the whole... It's like, it's soccer team thing, but like, you have a character in the MCU whose nickname is Thunderbolt. That's where the name comes from. I understand that because where the character's standing is in the MCU, you can't really have that be the explanation, but something as stupid as a soccer team, no. Right? You could also say that they call themselves Thunderbolts in honor of him because Allegra wants to take down his version of the government or whatever. She wants to kind of take over what it is, right? But, yeah, so they decided to go to New York. This is what made me laugh. Here, not that other stuff. They get there, and Alexi's talking to him. He's like, we are the same. Oh, we're different, but we are the same. So what is plan? Plan? Next thing you see, the thing just crashes into the Avengers Tower. Yeah, don't like this. So it's revealed that Allegra DeFontaine bought Avengers Tower. Bullshit. You cannot tell me this was what it was always planned to be, because she didn't fucking exist when they said it was being sold in Far From Home. So don't give me that bullshit. Okay? I guarantee this was originally supposed to be for the Fantastic Four. Because John Watts was supposed to direct that movie. And so I always felt that this was setting up for that. It made sense. John Watts directed those movies. He's directing that one. Boom. And then all of a sudden, it's like, all of a sudden he's like, I'm not gonna direct it anymore, moving away from that, doing other stuff. And then now we kind of stop talking about who bought it. I'm gonna keep asking who is it, but it's not brought up again within the MCU till now. She was not a character then. She didn't exist as far as canon is. Yeah, I know she existed, but no. You cannot tell me that it was planned all along for this character to buy this place. Bullshit. There was rumors that Kingpin bought it. I didn't believe that. More than her. At least he existed at that point, because those Netflix shows were part of the MCU. Still are, by the way. No. Sorry. I don't buy it. See me get my wallet out? No, because I don't buy it. Anyway, I do like they crash through, and they're fighting off security guards, and she's like, what are you doing? I'll have the door open for you. Kind of funny. They go up, and they confront her in the same place So Tony Stark confronted Loki. I have an army. We have a Hulk. That scene. Yeah. And then we are presented with the Sentry. And Bob's hair is now dyed. Did you dye your hair? I was like, who are you? Alexei Shostakov. Red Guardian. You know. So, okay. Time for the climax. And we don't have a big old fight scene. Not really. They try to fight him. He is invincible, as Boris would say. Yeah, nothing. There's nothing. And he starts to realize, well, they can stop me. You said, I'm basically a god. She goes, well, God's a little too much. Well, you said that I could beat the entire team of the Avengers who has a god. Yeah. A god, a Hulk. Pretty much. Yeah. And then he becomes the Void, which it happens very suddenly, but it's like, because like they have this failsafe that Mel activates, but it doesn't do anything. He just becomes the Void. Why does it affect him? I have a problem with this, because earlier I think Yelena tries to shock him and it doesn't do anything. Yet this is able to zap him. Why? Because it's inside his body? It makes no sense. Because she's like, I got this. And I'm like, well, it won't work. Push it. It's not going to work. She doesn't get to push it. I'm like, okay, it wasn't going to work anyway. Then Mel pushes it. Why does it work? It shouldn't work. We saw Yelena try to zap him earlier. It doesn't work. Why did it work? It doesn't, because he's still alive. But I'm just saying. And then we got to show them that they're heroes. Right? So, Sentry breaks off. He starts destroying buildings and stuff. And we get shots of our heroes saving the day. Saving the day. Yeah, saving people. Because they're like, I'm done. We're out of here. They all leave. And so Yelena and Alexei try to save people. And one by one, the rest of them show back up to help. So it proves that they're heroes. But what are they going to do? Bob's too powerful. Well, we go into the Void. He starts to disappear. This is going to be the next blip. I guarantee people are like, I was in some weird place. I saw all of my transgressions. All of my issues I had. I saw it all. Right? And then it ends up in the woods where she was earlier. Really, we only saw two people's problems. We saw Walker's earlier, where he's... Okay, so... This scene confused me, because it's a flashback, and she's like, are you watching the kid? I'm watching him. I'm watching it. And he's on his phone, right? He's technically watching him. The baby's right there in the crib. But you're not watching him. You're in your phone. First of all, on your phone. On your phone. You're not in your phone. In my phone? My hand is in my phone? No, I'm on my phone. In your phone makes no sense. He is watching the baby. I'm guessing she meant spend time with him, do something, play. Just sitting there scrolling her phone. It is kind of a dick move. But he's a dick. But I don't think it fits his character before, where it's like, I just want to be there for my son and my wife. And now we see, he's just a dick at home too. And we find out that she left him. Not surprising after he was in his phone. On his phone. And then we get Yelena's, where she's in the middle of the woods. Someone's looking for her. It's someone that was a caretaker. She gets shot. And then she starts jumping through different rooms till she eventually finds Bob in the mirror. Apparently, at one point, they thought to have Scarlett Johansson come back for a cameo, but either she didn't want to or they decided not to. It's clear there were reshoots, especially with Taskmaster, because I didn't get enough into costumes. I don't like how they changed. Well, Taskmaster's costume doesn't matter because she dies right away. But I just don't like Ghost's costume. I like her costume in Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. This is boring. It's generic. Both of their costumes are. Whatever. So eventually they find each other inside the void, and because she talks to the real Bob, and he's like, there's no way here. This is the best room, the nicest room. So where's the worst? So it's the lab he's experimented on, I believe. And that's where the void is. And so he freaks out, starts punching it. Apparently that's what the void wanted. I guess it starts to consume him, but then Yelena does this weird flip trick over the stuff. Now, you can sort of dismiss it. Oh, she's in the void. She's not really there, but like, this is not something she should be able to do. I know she's a Black Widow, but still. And she hugs him. She's like, "You're not alone. I'm here." And everybody one by one does it too. I don't understand why Bucky and Alexei do it, because they barely know this guy, but sure. Because the rest of them, they knew each other from before, but like, yeah. I also skipped when they were in the elevator. Comment the thing. We don't really need to talk about that, but anyway, that was earlier in the film, but I don't get everything. And they come out of it, and he again doesn't remember anything. Although the post-credit scene makes me think he's lying about not remembering everything. Well, we'll get to it. But, yeah. So yeah, and they all decide, oh, fuck Allegra DeFontaine. They're going after her. She's like, hey, I know. Because there's earlier, Bob has her. Break her neck. Break her fucking neck. Just do it. Of course they don't do it. And here that she's after her, only to walk into a press conference where she announces them as the new Avengers. Nope. Not calling them that. They're not the Avengers. Or Avengers with a Z, as we get from the post-credit scene. No, I'm not calling them that. They're the Thunderbolts. I don't care. Well, the asterisk, it means something. It means shit to me. Shit all to me, I should say. No, they're not the new Avengers. No. Sam Wilson is making the Avengers. These guys, no. They're the Thunderbolts. You're not changing my mind. My problem is that they couldn't even wait to start marketing this movie for that. Literally, the Monday after the weekend this opened, they were going around and they were showing posters. It's now the new Avengers. They're ripping off Thunderbolts. New Avengers. Like, even the people who saw the movie were like, really? You're not going to wait? Because, like, not everyone has a chance. Do filmmakers not realize, do these companies not realize that since COVID, being able to go to movies is not as easy anymore? Quite a bit of movie theaters shut down. Mine did. Not everyone is able to see this. They gotta wait for streaming or the home video release. They can't go to the theaters. If I drove, I could, but I don't drive. So, no, I can't. So, to immediately spoil something that I'm not counting, it's canon, by the way. They're not the new Avengers. They're the Thunderbolts. Fuck that. To spoil it for a marketing... what's the word I'm thinking of? Marketing strategy? Fuck you. Bullshit. No, don't. No. That's pretty much where the movie ends, though, too. They're announced, and they're like, they're not the new Avengers. Sorry. They're not. No. In a mid-credit scene that I'm pretty sure was filmed after production was done, because David Harbour just has his mustache when he was doing the PR stuff after the movie. When he was doing it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they filmed this in between those, because it makes no sense for him to just have this mustache when Alexei always has the beard. And yeah, so yeah, because I think the post-credit scene was filmed on the set of Avengers Doomsday. So yeah. So yeah, and then all the mid-credit scene is that there's this woman in a grocery store, and he walks up to her and goes, "Oh, hey, having a hard time figuring out what to get." Oh, here we go. Wheaties, Breakfast of Champions. And it's the picture of the Thunderbolts on a Wheaties box. And he's like, she's like, she takes the box, like, he's me on box. And apparently, a mannequin has come to life because we hear, and we can build this dream together, standing strong forever. Nothing's gonna stop us now. As I was dancing. Sure, I love that song. The post-credit scene is more important. After about a couple of minutes, when they're just sitting there talking, first it starts out they're complaining about how Sam Wilson, they're the Avengers, we're the new Avengers. Which one's the real Avengers? Sam Wilson's are the real Avengers. Thank you very much. Just look at what they're gonna have potentially. Sam Wilson, Captain America. Joaquin Torres, Falcon. Hulk, Shang-Chi, excuse me. Shang-Chi. Who else could there be? Ant-Man. I'm pretty sure Ant-Man will be in there. I don't know about Wasp, because Evangeline Lilly is apparently retired. Ant-Man will be in there. Doctor Strange. God, I gotta show up somewhere. Who's left? Thor. I almost forgot about Thor. Thor. My butt is Thor. Thor. Right? Yeah. So, yeah, they're the real Avengers. They still have 2 out of the original Avengers left. Plus a new Captain America and a new Falcon. They're the most, essentially they still got the members. I forgot about... Boom, you looking for this? Yeah. Rhodey, he's in there. He's technically the new Iron Man. Don't get me started with Riri, okay? Yeah, but they're talking about that. And this is where I get confused with Bob, because they're like, Alexa comes in, he's got like a racing uniform. Hey, here we go, Avengers with a Z. New Avengers with a Z. No, I'm not wearing that, no. Oh, come on, I got one for you, Bob, over there in the corner, hiding, pretending to read. I know you're there. And they're like, there's a problem in space. He's like, well, we could fly up there. And he's like, sorry guys, I can't be Sentry without unleashing him. I'm like, well, how would you know that? You shouldn't remember that. Something is in space, so they check it out on a thing, and it's a Fantastic Four ship. But it's also been said that it's not the ship from the Fantastic Four movie that just came out. I'm not calling it by that stupid name either. The Marvel's Fantastic Four. Well, first steps, just Fantastic Four. You don't need a stupid subtitle, Ted. Not every movie needs a stupid subtitle, okay? First steps is goddamn stupid. Just call it Marvel's Fantastic Four. I know they did it to separate them from the other ones, but fuck it. No. Marvel's Fantastic Four is what it's called. That's all Avengers was needed. I know in other countries it's called Avengers Assemble, but they called it Marvel's The Avengers because of the pre-existing movie The Avengers from 1998 with Sean Connery and Ralph Fiennes and Uma Thurman. But anyway, yeah, so that's the ship, and that sets for Avengers Doomsday. Yeah. So yeah, there it is. I'll say it's pretty good. But I will say, when I started watching this and I was putting together what my ranking's going to be for... I didn't mean to do that. I'm going to do this. My ranking's going to be for Phase 5. I'm going to do that right after this. This didn't land exactly where I thought it was going to be. So, I don't have to go think of a bad thing. But the other ones above this are just better in my opinion. But we'll get there. So, what are your thoughts on the Thunderbolts? Leave a comment, so much like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. I'm Sky, and I'll see you in the next one.